Hi there.
Here's Tim. He's going to talk about rainwater. Stuff that comes, not today, but normally comes from the sky. So, Tim, maybe just start with our roof and our gutters. And we have some just to your left there.
We do. So, what I've done with these gutters is set them up so that if they get too much dirt in them, you can actually pop them out and turn them upside down, which I think is really useful because gutters are really awkward to clean. Around our house, where possible, we don't actually have big trees, deciduous trees with the leaves falling in the gutter, but it's up to you. If you have trees that are giving you shade, but they're also deciduous and you get a lot of leaf litter, you've got to get up and clean them.
Hey, Tim, you can buy these leaf things that stop the leaves going into your gutters.
True, they're called gutter guards because whenever you go and try and get the leaf matter out of the gutter, they guard the leaf litter that's in there and make it really difficult to get out. That's a general rule, that's my belief.
Your attitude towards cleaning gutters has changed a bit over the years, hasn't it?
It has. I used to hate cleaning the gutters. I had to do it when I was a kid. And now, rather than seeing cleaning the gutters as a terrible chore, I see it as a way of maintaining the quality of my drinking water, which, it kind of, by that change in perspective, I wouldn't say I love getting up and doing it, but I actually see it as being a really valuable and important thing to do rather than just a pain in the arse.
It's a bit like doing the dishes.
Yeah, kind of, yeah. It's kind of like maintenance for good health. Yeah.
Okay, we've got a little tiny house here which is collecting some rainwater. And right up high near the gutters there, we can see something called, what's it called?
It's called a leaf eater.
Have you got one we can actually see properly?
As it happens, I do.
Surprise,
Here's one I prepared
surprise.
while you were waiting. It's like a cooking show.
That's a leaf eater.
It's a leaf eater. So what happens is any big sticks or things that fall, they go on there and then hopefully the wind blows them off. And so they don't go into your rainwater. And you can see this has actually got two filters. It's got this coarse filter on the top, which easy comes off. And then there's another filter inside, which is a finer filter. So, you can get up and clean them out if you need to.
And you should always store your leaf eater in the shed so it's got lots of dust on it.
That's it. It's always good to have a dusty leaf eater. It makes it look as if you're,
Highly professional.
very professional.
Because we are professionals.
Yes, we are. Okay. So, leaf eater. So what's happened now is the water's come along, gone on your gutters, and as I showed you, you can set your gutters up so you can pop them off and clean them. Then the water falls down into the leaf eater.
You've got two pipes there. Where are they going?
Well, the first one, as you can see, if it went straight through, it would just come out here, which wouldn't really do anything.
No, that's not going to a tank.
No, it's not, but this pipe is. You see that T intersection there? I'll show you a little demo. That's like this T intersection here. So what happens is the rain comes.
Except it's longer.
That's true. The rain comes, goes through there. Most of the debris gets lost. And then the rain continues down into here. And there's a little valve in the bottom of this pipe with a tiny little hole in it. And so what happens is the water slowly drips out, but most of it stays in there. And as the water comes down here, it rises, and see that ball in there?
Well, there's a ball in there.
There's a ball in there. The ball floats on top of the water, and when the rain has filled in there enough, it seals off that section there, and then instead of the water going down and slowly dripping out the bottom, it goes down here and off here, which is
Why on earth?
goes to the rainwater tank.
Why do you do that?
Well, if you think about it, what we've had is a coarse filter, then a finer filter, and then in essence, this pipe structure here is an even finer filter, because all the first bit of rain that comes off the roof with any dust and bird poo and stuff in it gets dropped into here and then slowly drips out into the garden. And then the clean water comes here. It's called a first flush diverter because it takes the first flush and diverts it into this, which drops onto the garden and not into your rainwater tank.
Hey, that's pretty clever.
I wish I'd thought of it.
Yeah. All right, we'll have a little break and maybe go to a couple of tanks. Do you want to show us a couple of ways to get the water into the tank?
Yep. So you can see here a similar setup. The rain comes off the roof into the gutter, through the leaf feeder here, and then the first flush of water goes down to here and drips onto the garden. And the other water goes along this pipe and down into the tank through a hole here. I've actually got another filter here, just so that it's easy to clean. And then what happens is that once this tank's full, this here is the overflow. So once the rain gets to this point, any further water comes down this pipe and it goes off that way and goes down to the big tank at the front. And what that means...
Can we see the big tank at the front later?
Sure, I'll show you, Sean. So what that means is that if the big tank out the front, which feeds our main house, over summer if it gets empty, then we still have this 8,000 litre tank here, so if we want to drink rainwater all summer we can. And also because this tank's above ground, it's gravity fed, so you can see the tap down there. And it means that if we've got no power or for some reason we're having trouble getting water, then we always have 8,000 litres odd of stored rainwater with gravity fed, so that it doesn't need any pumps.
Tim, what's this tank made out of?
This is a polypropylene tank, I think.
Why did you buy that?
Oh, geez. Well, they're pretty hardy. They don't last forever, but they last for quite a while. And in fact, the stuff they make it with is UV treated, although you can see that what we've started to do is put a passion fruit mesh over it, so the passion fruit vine, when it grows up, will also protect the tank from UV, which is usually what wrecks them.
Oh, that's a good idea.
And it was a choice of either that or tin, really, and tin's more expensive, and it's the tin, all the tin tanks are lined with plastic anyway, so you know it's cheaper, and you know.
And what function do the goats perform in water collection?
Well, they're really valuable because they encourage you to come out here and pat them. And when you come out here to pat them, you can give the water tank a bang and feel how full it is. Hey, full.
So this is the front of our house, and underneath the ground at the front of our house we have a cast concrete 50,000 litre rainwater tank. So it's 6 metres long, 3 metres wide and 3 metres deep. Hard to imagine, isn't it? I've actually got some footage of what it took to get it in. So I'm just going to wander up to the hole in the tank where we can check out what's going on, and Tim's going to show us the filtering system that happens once that water has gone through the leaf feeder, the first flush diverter, another little screen going into the tanks, and oh my goodness, here he is. He actually lives in the hole in the tank. Don't you squash my lemon verbena! We just had to have a little pause there while I saved my garden from the top of the tank. But anyway, here he is. So, he loves his tank so much he lives
that's it.
In this little hole.
Put a pillow here. Shani feeds me cups of tea and cat biscuits.
Yep.
So this is not actually the tank, this is the tank access. This concrete bit here is the top of the tank. The tank runs from about here to 6 metres that way. And what's going on in here is we have the manhole in case you want to get in there. Here's a question for you. Why do they call it a manhole, not a woman's hole?
Or a person hole.
Yeah. What happens is the water, you can see the pipes running down there and along here, they all filter down into this tank underneath. And then underneath here, on the end of that, power is a submersible pump. And whenever you turn a tap on in the house, that activates the pump, and the water from the pump comes up through here, and then it goes through this inline filter, and then it goes through these two particulate filters, and each one's got one of these in it. It's a cartridge, and the cartridges are replaceable, and you can get different levels of fineness, if you like, in the filter. So this is usually a 25 micron, and this is a 1 micron. So in the same way that we had coarse, fine, finer, 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 so we're getting progressively finer. And then we run through a UV filter, and then from the UV filter along here and out to our main switch, and we'll show you the switch. So basically we've got water, a filtration system and a pump, and the pump pumps the water through the filtration system to the house. This little thing here is just a constant pressure cylinder, and what that does is it's got basically it moderates the demand. So when you turn the tap on, if you've only got a little bit of water, like if you're only brushing your teeth or getting a glass of water, it doesn't turn the pump on every time, which makes your pump last for longer.
Is it compulsory to have dust and bits of leaf matter and all sorts of things all over everything?
Absolutely.
In your rainwater tank?
That really helps to increase the filtration.
They don't show that on the shows, do they?
No, they always make it look shiny and new, but this is a real one.
Thanks.